Hi everybody and welcome to Thursday Tips with Dr. Temple. I am so excited because today in our studio, you like our studio, we have a special guest. This is Omar. He's director of the Goalkeepers Association, CSA, for CSA, right? Mm-hmm. And really, he's also a soccer coach. And he and I are speaking together because you'll be amazed. We are speaking the same language. I'm so excited that you're here today.
Likewise. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So you were telling me that you are now you just finished your first season with one of the soccer teams, mm-hmm. the JV soccer team. Who are they playing for? The team you were coaching?
Well, the team that I was coaching was Providence Day School, and they competed in the North Carolina Conference.
Okay.
And then at the end of the conference, the top 4 seeds get invited to play in the CISA tournament.
Okay.
So it's the top 4 teams of the league.
Got it. And you guys got invited to...
Correct, yeah. And we went the whole season unbeaten, won 14 out of 14, unprecedented. So I'm very, very proud of the boys. They've given everything, very receptive, very down to earth. And I was blessed with great players and a great coaching staff as well.
Okay, well, one of the things, so just so we'll make sure that everyone understands, it was unprecedented, undefeated season. With team, you told me that the team when you first started was not necessarily the strongest team that you ever worked with.
Correct.
Right? And you guys dominated the season, as opposed to last year when the team was stronger. They won, but they didn't win as many games as you did this year, right?
They didn't win 14 in a row. That's all I can say. And
so amazing.
And when I was speaking with some of the varsity players, they came up to me and said, "Coach, we would have never anticipated that team would go 14 in a row." So,
yeah. So interesting. Now everybody's gonna want to know, what is the secret? What is the secret sauce that made you have an undefeated season with a team that initially didn't look this strong? And one of the things that you told me was their diet.
Sure. Yeah. 100%.
So excited. I want to talk about it. So tell me, what do you expect to see on the soccer field from your athletes?
Well, first it was about education, because I saw a lot of habits early on in preseason that I wanted to change.
Such as?
Eating cookies, drinking Powerade, eating chips, among others. Issues.
So what you're saying is a soccer athlete should not be eating cookies, chips, and Powerade at any point.
Once a week is fine.
Right. Not on your soccer field. Correct. Not as you're sitting. Okay, go ahead.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. And for me, because I played professionally for about 6 years in 3 different countries, and I kept getting chronic muscle injuries in my hamstring and my abductor, and it was a mess no matter how hard I trained. But as soon as I changed my diet and started eating vegetables and cut a lot of processed food out of the way, I just became a different athlete. And so one thing I like to enforce with the players is on a week-by-week basis, I just give them a little bit of information to avoid information overload, so they don't get bored of me,
right?
Barking orders at them. But for me, the big 4 are zinc, magnesium, selenium, and potassium. And pumpkin seeds are heavy in zinc. Mm-hmm. Fish and beef and chicken is selenium. Potassium is bananas. So we just kept enforcing the players that if you put this in your diet, not only will your performance get better by 5 or 10%, not only will you last longer than your opponent, but also you'll be a happier person. You'll feel better. You won't be moody. You'll be less prone to anxiety, less prone to depression. And honestly, something I found as a player and obviously as a coach is it's impossible to separate your training program from your sleeping habits from your diet.
Right.
So if one of those 3 is off, it's going to affect the other.
Totally.
So if you sleep 3 hours a night, it's very hard to continue eating healthy.
Right.
Very, very hard.
Because one of the things that you also told me was like, you're not a soccer player or an athlete on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're an athlete on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day you're training for the time that you're on the field. You're not just training on the 2 hours that you're on the soccer field. You're training every day that 100%, you're alive. Right?
100%. And so if we're meeting with the team on Tuesday and we have a game on Saturday, something that Coach Tony and myself would tell the players is the preparation for the Saturday game starts now.
Yes.
It's what you put in your body on Tuesday that's going to elevate you to a whole level on Saturday. And that's why most of our goals, if you look at our record this season, in most of the game, most of our goals come late in the second half.
Yeah, that was also really interesting that you told me that you were like a second half dominating team. Yeah. And then when you're drinking Gatorade, eating cookies, that is instant sugar garbage, and we're not even discussing what other stuff, and you're in the beginning and you then peter out. By the time you go into the second half, you're toast, right?
Yeah, well, Powerade lacks a lot of essential electrolytes that the body needs. So that's why we told the players, if you want to last longer than the opponent, if you want to compete, it's just water. It's just simple. Just drink a lot of water. Make sure you're hydrated.
Yeah. Isn't it simple? Because we're going old school. Yeah, you're getting your potassium from bananas, because everybody's forgotten this.
Zinc from pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, and your meat, and your iron from your meat and your eggs, and your magnesium is going to be from your nuts.
Yeah.
But what people have forgotten, because of commercials, right, and the food industry, is that you get your electrolytes from food. But everybody's like, no, I need to drink my Powerade because it has electrolytes. When in fact, it's just sugar with garbage.
Yeah. Your
electrolytes on your food.
And I think one major problem that I found as a coach, not so much as a player, because as a player you only have to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
But as a coach, I noticed, especially in the United States, there's a lot of psychological issues that lead to poor nutrition. So especially among teenage girls that I coach, they have unrealistic expectations of what their body should look like. And that's the same with men, right? Men think that the only way to be healthy is to have a six-pack. Gentlemen, just be a good person, be confident, be ambitious. That's it. Girls do not care if you have a six-pack. But one thing that I really told the players is, especially players that I coach at the DA level, so at the competitive level outside of Providence Day, they come to training in a fasted state. And I would notice a bit of fatigue, a little bit of lack of concentration, a bit of lethargy. And then after 20 minutes, I call him over. I'm not going to say his name, but I'll call him over. I'm like, what did you eat for breakfast this morning? And he goes, I just had water. So it's sort of like they're punishing themselves. You know, they think that if they eat, they're going to get overweight. But actually, your body's a car, and it needs fuel. It needs the necessary fuel. So that's still a struggle to get into the players' heads, that they need to eat well if they want to compete at the highest level.
Right. When I think a lot of people are like worried about the weight, because when you're eating fast food and you're eating packaged foods, so food in packages and convenience foods, and you're drinking all the sugar beverages, you're going to put weight because it's not food, it's a chemical experiment, so then you get inappropriate weight on you. When you eat real food, your body knows what to do. Mother Nature has made this body to know what to do. We just have to give it the right tools. When we give it garbage, it gives you garbage back. That's why you have a weight issue. But when you're eating really good food, you're actually only using what you need, and the rest, right?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. And the reason that people, especially young people, get hungry after they have a cookie or a cake, after 20, 30 minutes they're still hungry, is because the body doesn't want those nutrients. So you're eating a cake or a cookie or something, and then 30 minutes later you're like, wow, I'm still hungry. So you just keep eating more processed food. It's because your body's like, I don't want that. I want more stuff, but the right stuff. And a lot of people need to listen to their bodies, and I think parents need to be a little bit more responsible about teaching the basics, just the basics. If your kid competes at a DA level or ECNL or South Elite or Providence Day School, if you want to win, there's a way to do it. There's the right way to do it. And the preparation isn't just psychological, it's also nutrition based.
Yeah, and you also talk about sleep.
Yeah.
And because a lot of them are sitting on their Netflix and their phones are not being monitored, and they're staying up late doing the stuff, right? So if you're not getting sleep, you can't repair the body, because at nighttime when you sleep, all the work you've done on the soccer field, you have to sleep at night for the repair to happen correctly.
100%.
And so we talked about sleep. We talked about managing anxiety and decreasing the rest of the stresses in your life in order to be a powerful athlete. It's not just about, let me go to practice on a Tuesday night, right?
You can train 4 hours a day every single day, and you won't progress as an athlete if you don't take care of yourself out of the gym or off the field or off the court.
Right.
No chance. You don't know. And I can speak from personal experience. I had chronic muscular injuries, and I was doing sprints, deadlifts, all type of power exercises, but as an athlete, I wasn't improving. I wasn't improving at all. And then we had a sports nutritionist coming in that just revolutionized what I put in my body. And just a message to the young players who do want to compete at a professional level or at a college level. Look at all of your what do you call them? What do you call it in English? Idols?
Yes.
Your
yeah,
sports idols?
Yeah.
Messi, Ronaldo, Kevin De Bruyne, LeBron, every single one of them, what do they have in common? They have a personal chef. And the reason they have a personal chef is because they are meticulous about what they put in their body. So, preparation is key.
Awesome. This has been so informative. I'm so excited that you got the chance to come here to talk to us about it. Like I was sharing with you, I feel that I have gone to various institutions to speak with various coaches on different levels and discuss nutrition and sleep and how we're going to train off the field. And 100% of the time they look at me like I'm a complete nut job, that I don't know what I'm talking about, even though I wear my white coat. I bring my white coat and they don't believe me. They don't believe me.
It's fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited here because together, the more we get in our tribe, the more likely we are to make a change, and we'll start small and we'll take over the world.
Yeah, and I want to thank Coach Dan Dudley as well of the varsity team. He's the one that brought me to Providence Day, and he told me, dude, just do whatever you want. When I was proposing these nutrition changes, he gave me the green light. So I really want to thank him for letting me do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I hope you guys learned some things. This is so important and informative. And now we just have more people in our tribe so we can bring more wellness to Charlotte. Thank you much for joining us. Happy Halloween tonight. Be safe. And I hope the weather stays away until you do your trick-or-treating. Have a great week.